Welcome to Awesome Old Indies, where we look at indie games more than 5 years old that have either been forgotten about or never discovered in the first place. Our game today is called Soda Girls, a side-scrolling beat-em-up released in June of 2018. There is a zombie apocalypse and your friends have been kidnapped, so you play as a female police officer trying to rescue your friends. Controls are easy to learn and effective. One button jumps, one button's your dodge roll, one is your attack combo, and one drinks soda, which you can trigger twice per level to restore some health. The game starts out pretty simple. Enemies just kind of dodder along and don't do much. You have one 5-hit attack combo that you could trigger by just pressing the attack button repeatedly. When I first turned on the game, I thought it seemed pretty lame, to be honest. It's like you just get this one combo that you're doing over and over again. Where's the fun? Where's the variety? As you play more, those questions are answered. The combo system here is actually really interesting. It just takes a little bit to get going. Here's how it works. You have 5 slots, and each slot is designated an attack. You could rearrange your first 5 attack moves in any order you want to change up how your combo looks. As you play, you unlock 27 total moves, and you use them to create custom combos by placing these moves in any order that you choose. You are given 3 combo slots, so you can quickly switch between the combos that you've created, and there is just a ton of play with this mechanic, as you could put the moves together in any order, creating nearly countless custom combos. And these are not just visual effects. The attacks have different properties and are useful in different situations. So for example, maybe you need a quick attack combo to hit and run on bosses. You would combine some fast attacks so you can get a few in before you are forced to dodge. Maybe one of your combos you want tailored to crowd control, so you can use moves that have a wider hit radius and hit multiple times but are slow and maybe not so great for stronger individual enemies. Maybe you just want a balance, you could do that as well. I've really enjoyed experimenting with all the different attacks and creating custom combos. It never got old, and I found myself constantly playing around with it to create that perfect combo string even after I unlocked all the moves. And I think that's one thing this game does really well, as it offers a ton of different ways for you to customize your play experience with a lot of unlocks. I mentioned before you play as a police officer trying to rescue a friend, and your friends come in 2 varieties, playable characters and NPCs. You can visit the NPCs between levels for a variety of different effects. Like one of them you can buy ornaments off of that give your character different upgrades. And in a really unique twist, one of them actually upgrades the enemies instead of your characters. In this way, you can increase the rewards they give, but you also get to increase the challenge. I was too much of a coward to ever play around with this feature. I just kept the enemies easy because I'm a scrub, but I thought it was a really cool feature, and I've never seen anything like that in a game. You also have a host of playable characters you can unlock, each with their own movesets and custom combos to play around with. They play differently too, like you have this girl in a mech. She doesn't have a dodge roll. Instead, your dodge features you jumping out of the mech and holding it by a leash to hit enemies while you are safely behind it, and then you jump back in when you're ready. It was a fun mechanic and totally changed the way gameplay felt. All the characters feature similar changes, each with their own custom combos, custom jewelry for different upgrades, and their own experience meter. The constant unlocks and amount of customization really keeps things fresh and avoids the monotony you sometimes run into in the beat-em-up genre. I also liked how they tell you how to unlock each character. Usually it just involves beating a certain world with a specific character, and I thought this was a cool way to force you to try all the characters and give you a chance to upgrade them and figure out how they work. Play is divided into 6 different worlds, each with a bunch of levels. The number of levels vary per world, and every world ends in a boss. The level design is solid. Most of the individual levels are short, but they have a nice variety to them. Some are just standard, run around, beat up everything that moves. You have some that offer platforming challenges in addition to the beat-em-up action. Others, like this stage here, where everything is electrified, so you gotta be really careful where you go. Good news is, you could also knock the enemies into electricity to deal further damage or just instantly kill them. This tends to always be true, as you can use the environments against the enemies. And enemy variety increases as you progress through the game as well. Enemies increase in aggression and difficulty, they become a lot more in numbers. It gets pretty tough. Some levels I was able to plow through, but there were definitely a bunch where I died a ton trying to make it to the end. There are no mid-level checkpoints, but the levels are short enough that it doesn't really matter. Beating up enemies also rewards you with gold that you can use to buy various upgrades, earns you experience, and you occasionally find presents that offer random rewards and surprises. Every world ends in a boss fight. These are huge juggernauts that do a ton of damage, eat a ton of damage, and are usually accompanied by mobs of smaller enemies. They were all fun to fight, and I found the difficulty on them to be just right, and never needed to grind to beat any of them. Soda Girls is a really fun game that probably no one ever heard of in the first place. After being on Steam for over 7 years, it is sitting at just 270 reviews, but there is a lot to like here. It offers a nice mix of platforming and combat with a really unique system that I've never really seen anything like, and just a whole host of upgrades to constantly keep you busy, unlocking new stuff and discovering new cool combos. It retails for $9 on Steam, and I'm sure you get it cheaper on sale. Either way, there's definitely enough here that make it worth playing. Thanks for watching. We are now at the point where the indie game scene is about 2 decades old. It's crazy to think about, but true. There are so many places covering old console games and so many covering new indie games. But the indie game scene is rich with so many amazing games that have led us to the point that we're at today. So hit that subscribe button and join me as I cover some of these indie games that time forgot.